He says, if we don't draft a quarterback at 12 or best available, what can we get for our pick at 12? I feel like there are only a handful of players we would take, but don't think we will. I think 12 is actually a pretty good spot, honestly. When I'm doing mocks on the Falcons podcast at 8, I look at 11, 12, and 13 as possible trade down positions because there's position players, especially if all these quarterbacks go. If 4 quarterbacks go and 3 wide receivers go, there's 7 players right there. Then you go Joe Alt, there's 8. Brock Bowers can slip in there. There's 9. All of a sudden, I've got my pick of possibly the top cornerback. I've got the pick of the top edge rusher. And I've got a selection of a couple. There's 3 edge rushers that most people like in the middle to upper part of the first round. There's 2 corners, 3 corners really, 4 corners actually, now that I keep counting. Quinyon Mitchell's a 4th, Cooper DeJean's in there, Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins. All those guys, if you're, James, let's say you're the Detroit Lions. I like the Lions. I like Dan Campbell, and who doesn't like an underdog? They're a team that could be a shutdown defensive player, a shutdown cornerback away from the Super Bowl. It's not a stretch at all to think, hey, they dropped Pat Surtain in that defense. Could they have beaten San Francisco 49ers last year? Yes, they could have. So maybe they're a trade up and they're willing to trade you a second to send you a second round pick and a third rounder in 2025 to move up to 12.
You said the exact same thing I was going to say. It's not a great spot for quarterback needy teams like Denver, but if you want a corner or if you want an edge rusher, a tackle, some of the other skill positions, it's a great spot to be in. So the Broncos would have interest in terms of what they could get back. I would say it would net them, Scott, at least a second and a third, maybe depending on how high a team is coming up to 12, maybe even a future first. It's a good spot for them to be in if they're looking to trade down, but that's a big if as of now.